Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new course which I'm going to record for Python-based development. And there's a background for it because very soon we are moving towards the PySpark and development for our data and analytics trackway. So I thought it would be good to have a quick tutorial that will help you to understand the details of the Python language. Remember, we're going to use the Spark SQL and PySpark for our analytical development from the language perspective. And Python play a very vital role in that track because Python actually put a wrapper on top of the Spark, and you don't need to see the complexity of the Spark. Obviously, the RDDs are a bit complicated to work with. That's where the PySpark comes into the picture, where it puts the wrapper, and we have the full library that encapsulate all the internal functionality for you and provide you the dev environment which is comfortable if you have the language background, or even if you are new. Python is really easy to work with compared to other language, and especially compared to Spark. It's way simpler language. So in order to work with Python, I would recommend to use the Google Colab, because Colab is free. It provides you the limited resources, and as you can see on my screen, I'm going to show you how you can quickly open the Colab. Uh, if you just type Google Colab, so it's going to bring you the link, and from that link, and by the way, that's the free service that Google is providing. It has the full Jupyter notebook with the functionality of Python and R available. So you don't need to build anything. You can go and you can work it. Obviously, the resources are limited. I'm going to show you what are the default resources that you can use, and you can obviously go and purchase the capacity if you have the use cases for it, right? But you can see Google Colab, it is linked with your Google account. Obviously, you need to get the account if you want to work with it, right? So it will provide you the Jupyter based notebook. Let me just open a new notebook, and you're gonna see it's gonna open the environment. And because I'm already authenticated, so hopefully it will just bring the notebook, and you can see it is linked with my Google account, and I'm using that, right? Using that account to authenticate myself before I end up in this screen, right? So the runtime environment looks very familiar, like it's a complete Jupyter notebook, and you can save it and you can create as much as you want. But runtime, if parallel connections are limited, like you cannot go for more than 2 connections. You can only run 2 notebooks simultaneously. If you go more than 2, it's going to complain and it's going to ask you to shut down one of them, or go and purchase the paid version, right? Whatever works. Let me quickly give you the overview of the environment. You can change the name at any time from the file on the top. Let's say call it one, right? And IPyNB is the Python notebook. Let me quickly show you. You can open the new notebook. You can look at it. It's generally stored in your Google Drive. That's why I ask you need to get a Google account before you can work with the Colab, right? Playground mode, you can generally we don't need it, because if you're working with some really serious problem or real-time use case. New notebook, open notebook, upload, all self-explanatory, and you can save it, and you can even save a copy as a GitHub. Just it is integrated with GitHub. You can actually push your work into GitHub directly if you have configured your notebook with your GitHub repository, right? So from the DevOps perspective, is another really powerful feature for it. You can download once you finish your work. If you want to move to another environment, you can simply either download as a INB as a notebook, or you can just download as a Python code, right? Very convenient features that they are providing, and the rest of the options are more like the similar that we generally see in the Jupyter environment, right? The insert will allow you to add the code cell and text cell, and you can see we have a couple of options. Section header cell, which provide you to add the heading, because in the notebook environment, if you remember, we not only build our code, but we actually build the sequence, or I would say a story for the end user. So once they run it, they can understand it. And generally a good notebook is more like, especially from the data analyst perspective, it has the commentary as well as the outcome, so the end user or the business user can understand it. All right. We have runtime, which include running all that. Runtime is different than the runtime we generally have, which provide us the language option. So don't confuse with it. It's generally ask you that how you're gonna run these cells. It's going to be run all, or run before the cursor is, like run before the current cell, or run the focus cell, run selection, with all these options. And we have obviously the corresponding key that we can use it, right? In the tools, we have command palette, and you can see we have show the table of contents, global find and replace. These are all the tools that are available for you to use in your notebook. That makes your life really easy. Instead of searching on Google, you can just directly get the help from here, and you can use it in your notebook. All right. So that's pretty much it. So we have obviously the setting. Setting is gonna actually show you these are all settings that gonna implement on our environment, and obviously we can change it, right? But most of them are more like you can see they are linked with the non-development activities. Obviously in this course we're gonna focus on the development part. So I will cover these in the later videos, right? Just on especially from the editor perspective, you can change your font, you can just change the font family and all these things, show line number, show indentation. So these are all part of the Jupyter notebook. The settings are available for your editor, and you can customize on your environment, depends upon your requirement. Colab Pro, if you want to one-time purchase of 100 or 500 compute units, that's how Google calculate the usage of the runtime that has provided to you. And generally it's based on the CPU and memory, that how much utilization you have. So you can see we have different option. Obviously I'm going to use the free environment that suffice for us, but if you have a use case that you want to go beyond, you can use it, right? And for me, by the way, I can, if I need to use the purchase one version, I'm gonna use the AWS environment, right? So which has the Cloud9, which provide you exactly the same capabilities, right? So I'm gonna also record a separate video on Cloud9 environment as well. All right, GitHub, obviously you can connect with your GitHub, and you can literally publish your code directly with the GitHub repository, generally like we do in our DevOps environment, right? Let's see what we have in miscellaneous, no power more. Let's leave it as it is, right? So that's pretty much from the tools perspective. Now let me come and show you what we have the runtime on. So once I hit the runtime connect, it's gonna say too many sessions. So now you can see I already got a warning that I'm running too many sessions. So let me see what session I can disconnect, because I'm using the free account. So let me just what's entitled file. Can I close that? Yeah, I'm comfortable with let me just just disconnect that session. Oops, did I? That's fine. I can even, let me just close this session as well. Right. I think now if I connect it, it's gonna allow me to connect with my Jupyter environment, or sorry, with my environment. So now you can see we have the system RAM, which is by default is available 12.7. We have 100 gig disk available, which is more than enough. And if you want to, if you want to extend it, you can obviously go with the option to purchase more compute unit, which is part of the Colab Pro. All right, changing the runtime. So let me show you, we have two runtimes. So you can see we have Python and R. Both are the analytical tool that we generally use to build our analytical solutions, right? So I'm going to stick with Python 3. Obviously, we have CPU, we have T4 GPU. I can use it, disconnect, and let's do the GPU, because obviously, that GPU provide you more capabilities instead of CPU. And then we have the TPU, and in order to use TPU, we'll see TPU, how we can use the TPU. Right, so let me just cancel it. I think now we have the GPU available. Sorry, I just need to, yeah. Let me just save it. Okay, now it's reconnecting. All right, so now you can see we have the GPU available as well. So if we are running like machine learning algorithm, so that's where the GPU is really going to help us, right? So let's leave it as it is. So let's, as a first command to complete this tutorial or introductory lesson, I'm just going to, run the, let's say, import sys, and theoretically it should import the libraries. One thing I want to show you, so it's a complete server that is running behind, and it provides you all the capabilities of the server. So how I would know? So let me show you. I have the sample data folder where I have some of the data already available. The rest, if I want to load it, I can load the data and I can work with it, right? But just want to show you one more thing. You can see it's a full server directly that I'm able to see, right? So that's the Linux operating system, which is running behind this Colab, right? And it has all the values. So let me just open it up again. One thing which is really weird, once you open it, won't. So that's fine, but I can do. Because generally all your contents come into the content directory. That's part of the Linux operating system. Now, one thing, obviously, you are wondering how we can interact with the Linux operating system if we want to. So there's a command called sign up explanation, which allow you to run the bash shell command. So let's first see where I am. So which is obviously pwd, present working directory, and I'm in the content directory. All right. So can I see, because that's not very helpful, what's above that content directory, right? So ls and one level up, dot allow you to move one level up, and then from there I'm actually asking to list down all the content. You're gonna see I'm getting exactly the same output that I have in the right hand side, right? So I can see, and you know what I'm gonna do now, just to show you which was dot, and just display the contents of the contents of the content directory. So you can see we have the sample data, and that is exactly what we have in here. And how about if we can just go one, and how about if I just go in sample data, what we have in the sample data, so you can see it's exactly the same contents as we can see on the left hand side. So that's how you can interact with your shell, which is really a powerful feature. So it will not only provide you the environment to interact with the Python, but also allow you to interact with the underlying operating system, which is hosting this environment for yourself, right? So very powerful environment, and I'm going to show you how later on we can use it for multiple purposes, not obviously a general programming course, because that's a way simpler, and we're gonna see how we can use this environment to build real-time solution, like interacting with the cloud environments, regardless if it's going to be Azure, AWS, or GCP, working with the analytical work, like building the solution which can help us to interact with the data, because you can see we already have the data available, right? So we will see how we can, and if later on we come up, we're gonna use some machine learning libraries to build some ML-based solution. I'm gonna show you how you can use this environment to run those solutions. So if you have any questions, feel free to put in your comments. Otherwise, I believe you like the video, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next steps.